Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today we're going to be working on Gyee, Project Gyee, or Gyee, the tabletop role-playing game. And there has been quite a bit done over the weekend. Mostly because people were telling me to fix things. So, big things that got changed. If you go down here, this finally got alphabetized. Most things kind of remain the exact same here. Nothing is really out of the ordinary, really different. The big thing here is Therians were added by themselves, because technically there are animal people in the game that are just full furries, but aren't technically Gyee, because Gyee are like 50-50s. Don't question it. So therein, I tried to make them kind of like a hybrid between humans and Gyee. Do they work? Are they great? I don't know. Probably not. I'm going to be frank with you there. Probably not. Do have some options like, hey, if you want to really diversify this, if this was going to be like the primary race, then I could do a little bit more with it. But it's not, so I'm not. That's pretty much it. Let's see. We fixed some parts up with the Gyee. Some things got changed around here. Oh yeah. So classes got a small update. Most notably is some of them do have bonus health, which is primarily the warrior, ranger, and tank get additional health. While the mage does not actually get any bonus health, support gets a very tiny amount of health. Very tiny amount. Still have nothing for the morph, because the morph is, well, to be frank, the morph is the, here, let me bring up this just so I can just properly, the morph is stupid. It's stupid because it is a class that, by all accounts, shouldn't work, and it doesn't. Hence why it was cut originally. Every other class kind of does the morph's job better than the morph, and adapting that to a tabletop game is frankly absurd. But I digress. Nothing here in the elemental section changed really. The big thing that occurred that needed to be done is the idea of ability creation. Yes, that is what all our abilities are going to be working. We're kind of built around those ability points, as well as those are kind of playing into different systems. This is where a majority of like where you, the character, are going to really get your meat. Abilities are broken down into 4 main categories: magic, weapon arts, techniques, and features. Magic is exactly the way you think about it. Weapon arts is pretty much customizing your own weapon. Techniques are going to be, well, techniques from the Wadahara game I wrote, but just expanded out a little bit. And features are pretty much passives that you have put on yourself. So, this is the spell system. The spell system is actually almost one for one. Okay. Pretty much magic is taken almost entirely from Wadahara in the Deep Sea game, with the added caveat that I broke them down into different classes. Mages get a lot more direct options, such as being able to move targets or being able to actually have damage spells. But support are the only ones that can use buff spells, that can use heal spells, protection, and remove status. All of those kind of play into one another. Most of this is the exact same. Obviously, it's been kind of accommodated for the fact that you are on a map, as well as the fact that you have less mana overall. Wadahara actually had quite a bit of mana, relatively speaking. But usually the occurrence there was, well, you were supposed to have a lot of mana, and there are some characters who simply didn't have any. Now, in this section, most things are pretty solid. Like, it's not flawless, of course. Where was the one? Oh, yeah. The big change was come to... Hello, helicopter. The big change comes to rote spells. Pretty much, the amount of mana you spend on a spell is the amount of... Hello, phone. Fuck. Pretty much the amount of mana you spend on an ability is the amount of mana you spend on a spell is the amount of ability points you're actually spending on it. There, if I can actually speak correctly. And so overall, a character isn't actually going to get that many like direct spells. The main addition is the idea here, is that you can spend 5 of your ability points to change your spell to a rote spell, which the big thing is that you reduce the mana cost by 5, potentially making it even free, allowing you to be used more frequently. If you want to actually use spells consistently as a non-mage character, you're doing this. You have to kind of rely on this aspect to kind of build your own magic. Can a character who does not have any mana do this? Yes. You just have to, the cost just has to equal 0. Because again, you're not spending any mana that you don't have. And this is the example spell I have. It's called Rain of Metal. It costs 11 mana. I didn't make it a rote spell. I just want to give it a good example. Because the thing is, if the second you put it as a rote spell, you can no longer change it. So let's say I get a spattering of ability. Let's say I get 2-3 ability points when I level up. I can use that on a non-rote spell to actually change things about it. I can add some abilities to it. I can change some things with it. But anytime I can spend that 5, and that spell kind of becomes locked. But if I were to rote this spell, it would only cost 6 mana, which is something I can actually spam pretty frequently for 12 free damage and able to inflict bleed 3 on people, because I'm shooting shards of metal at you. Magic can get a little bit bonkers, which does bring me to weapon arts. Weapon arts is pretty much designing your own weapons, because there are a lot of characters in this game that have a lot of really stupid weapons, and those really stupid weapons make my life complicated. So here we are. Pretty much the entire thing is that you're going to choose your weapon, and you are going to customize it. So for example, let's say I want to make a funky dunky. Let's say I want to make a, let's see, what's a good weapon to use? Okay. Here, we'll just use a sword. It's a basic medium damage class weapon. And because it's medium damage class, anytime I'm hit, I'm going to be doing D8 damage to it. And let's say I want to spend 15 ability points on this. So, we've got that. Okay, we've chosen our ability. All right, let's think. What do we want this sword to be like? Well, look in here. Let's say, I don't think I want to increase the damage class, but I do think I want to I think I want to dump 1 into just increasing Raj damage. It's going to do 2d8 damage now. And let's see, don't really want to worry about the range, so let's add some tags to this. So technically we have, since we added that, cost 8. That would be 7 additional tags, 7 additional points. So what we can do is let's actually add in Gory, because Gory takes away, pretty much ignores half your physical defense, because I think that's kind of cool. We can add in Obvious, because the sword is about as obvious as it gets. And let's see, we want to do, let's throw an Elemental in there, and we'll just say we're fire. So there we go. I have just made my own custom sword. It is my sword. It is my beautiful sword. It is mine and mine alone. But that is how you make it. You spend 15 ability points to make your very own weapon. That's literally what this system is. and I did a little bit of testing around just to make sure like how things can work, and kind of abusing the system as much as I could. This is going to get moved around, mind you, but I made this disgusting thing called Calamity with 20 ability points, which is a two-handed sword that does 3d12 damage, ignores half your armor most of the time, and can attack you from 2 spaces away, and then it can switch into a fucking siege bow whenever I feel like, because it is a giant sword I use to kill people with. That's just kind of a sample option. Now, let me see. Pretty much with weapon arts being done, we're doing pretty good. Like, things have reached a good set of actions and like how we want to continue. I did add in also a lot of status effects. God, there's so many fucking status effects. And one thing to... I'm getting pinged. Why do people always ping me right when I want to start streaming? But a lot of the status effects in the actual game tend to be like, increase this by 2% per skill level per level, or it's like, increase this by 5%, but if this occurs, then this occurs. Or my favorite, the build up to do a thing. Now, mind you, these build up X to then do Y. That's fine when I have a supercomputer in my pocket. But if let's say I have to do an action to build something up for a turn, that could be like that's about 5 minutes of me sitting there to do it again, and then while other people do things. It could possibly be 15 minutes of me sitting on my ass doing nothing, while other people have actually moved around, and that's being conservative as well. If I want to be not so happy with the time, you can actually probably increase that time to about 10 minutes per round, if you got enough people and you're in a big enough combat situation. So I'm trying to avoid that, because the game is rife with that shit. Which is fine for a mobile game, not fine for a tabletop game. But a lot of these are pretty standard. A lot, let's see, Bless is here. Actually, the character affected by a curse. They fumble on a 1 to 3 on the dice. There we go. Pretty much don't do that. Some of these are a lot simpler than others. Like slow just reduces your speed by half. If you have 20 speed, you now have 10 speed. Ta-da! Some are a little bit easier than others. I had to do things like Soul Cage. I'm like, okay, I guess that's a status effect now. So what's the plan for today? Like, what's the actual goal? A lot of stuff has been done. A lot more stuff needs to be done. Most notably, we need to get techniques. Techniques and features. That's the main goal for today, is getting these two things done. Techniques shouldn't be difficult. I preface that saying that this is going to be a note for me that I'm going to have to do, which is there's going to be a lot of if and or buts with techniques, but this is what's going to be a lot of your warriors and your tanks are going to be relying on, are these. These are going to allow you to do special things and allow you to have your powers and allow you to have abilities. This is what makes those of those. Features are more like passives that you can get, that you put on yourself to make yourself a little bit better or have adopted, you could say. Features would be things like, oh, I have bleed resistance. That anytime I get a bleed thing, I reduce the value by half. It's things like that. Very small, but very important. And certain characters, like constructs, for example, as constructs and Therians are going to rely very heavily on those. Constructs are actually going to need to get their own list of them because they are constructs. And robots in this game about flesh and blood people turns out has some issues. Like a lot of issues. Holy shit, make it end tier issues. But we're going to finish it up. Like, that's that. If things go according to plan. Now, this is a if things go according to plan. Techniques and features we can get done today. So, this would be Monday. We can do a lot of the bonds and emotional stuff, emotional complexities on Wednesday. And this is when I'm aiming to end things. This is when I want to get things done. Like, I'm aiming for about 4 episodes on this. I knew this wasn't, like, this was either going to be a really long project or a really short one. And I'm feeling pretty good. Like, a lot of the parts that need to be in there are in there. And the rest is really going to be nickel and diming. It's going to be adding this, adding that, tweaking this, tweaking that. But after all these are done, that's pretty much it. Like, I really don't need to worry about too much else. So, let's get down to business. So, one big thing is, the beautiful thing is, we go right here, we can go to... I forgot I called it deep sea autism. We want to go there. Now, techniques from this game were built around the actual actions being committed. Yes, tits. Totally isn't Tron, I swear. A tactics roleplay, a tactics RPG about being robots. It's kind of more of like a skirmish game than anything. I got paid for that one too. Where are you? Technique building. So what we get to do now is we get to select everything here. Control C. And put it in this here document. And now we just get to start working on things. Now this is only 4 pages long, but we're going to actually have to expand this quite a bit. So, let's see. Characters are drawn. Competent fighters, magicians, and adventurers in the world. Honing their skills and abilities. Honing their skills and abilities to adventures in the world. Their travels allowing them to hone their abilities and protect those who need protecting. Techniques are abilities that are training and abilities that the characters have undergone. I can actually spell have undergone to maximize their potential and allow them to deal with threats. Allow them to deal with their foes, or deal with obstacles. Actually, deal with their foes. Because you just have to spend your ability points on these. Ta-da! That's it. Honestly, like, that's what it's going to be. I could make this vastly more complex. I don't really think that's the right option, though. No, it does remind me I need to... Combat Royale. Let's go down to actions. So, our minor actions, we have... Okay, so we have Brace. Let's see, we can do, yeah, Brace, Dash, Actually, do we want Envision? No. Quick attack. If I can actually spell. Refocus. What other ones am I missing? I guess we can use Hype Up. We can use Hype Up and Envision. Okay. Those are our minor actions. Now for our main actions. Well, we're going to have defend, obviously, because defend is important. Dive, parry strike, shield bash. We're not going to put delay in there. We can have magical attack, a magical attack, maneuver, because you can technically use a maneuver technique to do some things. Physical attack, brutal strike, and then we can do... Other? No, I don't think I need that. Yeah, there we go. Just to make sure everything is the way it should be. Why do I have aim on there? Is aim really that important? Yes, I guess aim would be important in its own way. So yeah, no, we can put in aim. Insert. We want to do data, create filter. Do that. Perfect. Am I missing something? Am I missing something? I don't believe I am. Actually, we want to do major major actions. We got call use simple actions. Major simple. Actually, no, it's minor actions. Yeah, if you can't tell, I got about 4 hours of sleep last night. And people then wanted me to do things today. I was like, okay, I'm alright. Poggers, let's do it. I'm ready to take on the day. I'm not. Why are you the way that you are? Can we just do one? Yeah, there we go. Oh, God. Oof. Charlie horse in my damn leg. What's it perform? Okay. Action and technique is what the character seeks out to do with their technique. Basic action. So minor actions cost no action points. Cost no action points to add, while advanced actions cost 2 action points. So you'd have to spend nothing to do it, like a dash maneuver, and your major action you would need to spend nothing to do. You spend 2 to perform multiple actions at once. Then action points for action points, actually ability points. I mean, this is where things are going to get really messy because there's a lot of terms that sound very similar. Mostly when it comes to Actions ability, actions ability. Oh god, I am going to lose my fucking mind. Holy shit. But I'm okay. Life is okay. It's Monday. I sound like fucking Garfield, but yeah, it's just Monday, and Monday kills me. The power character technique adds a flat up value to the battle behind the strike, allowing to do more damage, move farther, and any number of variable augmenting the abilities. Power costs a flat 2 ability points, allowing you +2 damage, +2 to hit, +2 to survival. Actually, not +2 to +2 to block, +2 damage. Actually, it'd be +1 to block, +1 to actually no +2 to physical defense. It'd be PHY. It'd be P dot defense plus 2 spaces, 2 space range, or +2 space movement. There we go. Damage hit. Actually, +1 accuracy to +1 accuracy, +1 to block, +2 physical defense, +2 space. Actually, this would be P attack, +2 to M attack. Actually, it'd be P attack or M dot attack, comma, +2 to P defense or M in defense. Space range, space movement. Okay. Alright. Flash 2 ability points, still do all of that, and I'm trying to think of something else, so we have nothing. Okay. Techniques aren't all raw power. Sometimes special effects mimic the potential of magic they can employ to hinder enemies or assist allies in a sticky situation. So if we do this, we do ability point cost, status effect value, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because you're going to have a little bit more technique points than you would think, so we can do something like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. About the same, a little bit cheaper. Status effect value 5 on some of these things are actually really nasty by just virtue of having it. Like, bleed 5 can kill someone. Like, however, in Dismacall's risky abilities, a character may choose to reduce the... Actually, I'm going to show you all a special technique. I want to find point TP, and we're going to replace it with ability point space. There we go. Believe in the heart of the cards. Status elements may allow Daredevil characters to finish off a foe with low cost investment, only to be left exposed and weakened after using it. Ability point cost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are not getting your points back, bitch. You want to... I'm not letting you get your points back. And goodbye, Plague Bear. Plague Doctor, I believe. We don't need you anymore. You can stay. Actually, no, you go away. When a character readies a technique, they are given targets hit with it. Maximum number of targets the ability can affect. Cool. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We can... Yeah, no, let's... We can do 1... Actually, we can do like 2, 3, 4, 5... and then bump it up to 8 there. Reduce the cost just a smidge. The initial investment is the same amount, but it's just a higher... lower amount. That should work and encourage people to encourage some abilities. We want to do space range, which is +1, +2, plus ability point cost. We're gonna do the same thing here. Actually, we can let's increase the cost a little bit, because these are all sequential. So if you want to increase it by actually I think that'll work. I think just sticking it to the original. Okay, now restrictions. Now restrictions are where things are going to get weird. So, not every is one for all tool. Technique allows restrictions applied to certain situations. Okay, bit of health to use. No, we're going to do 5 health for... It's going to be actually going to be 3 health for -1 TP. Because we don't want you just to jack your fucking health up. Actually, we'll do 4. Make it a little bit meaty. Initiative technique lowers the speed of the character. We'll do -4. Actually, we'll do -3 speed. We'll do 3 health. Range only can only be used at a minimum of 2 SD. We want to do. We don't want TP. Go away. Are you gonna break if I do this? That's the question. No, you aren't going to break. Thank God. Alright. I'm ready to roll. Technically, I should put a fucking S after all of these, because I'm silly. I'm a silly Billy. Actually, let's keep it 3. Use require specific weapon, being I'm unable to use any weapon of any other kind. Specify ability point. Category. Honestly, if you were investing in weapon art, you always pick this up. There's no reason not to do that. There's no reason to not have your very specific weapon as your very particular thing, mostly due to the fact that you've already invested points in it. You may as well get a small refund on them. It reminds me, I'm going to have to put my note in there about that. We'll do a minimum of 2 space. Right, minimum of, it would be, we'll do 5 spaces. Because 5 spaces would be 25 feet. No, we can do 4. It'd be about that. So we want to bump you up to there, about there. We'll bump you up to about, we'll keep you at 3. Specific weapon. -3 stress for -1 ability points. Cool. All right. Now we get to play it. Now we get to see about what other things there are that we can use to absolutely screw with you, because fuck you and the horse you rode in on. Okay, so most big things that we can do is we can say, let's say let's call it a defense crash. Just lower defense, you know, for the round. Or we can actually actually, I know what we can do. I know what we can do. We can put in benefits instead. Put restrictions down there. What we'll do is we'll put you there. We'll call this benefits. Benefits. Techniques. Techniques are trained. Techniques are trained to allow the user to successfully pull them off to allow for amazing stunts to occur. Should the character use the ability, these benefits would also occur. So if we just select a few of these, we go here, we're going to select you and put you right there. So we want to call these benefits. So let's think. So what would be some just raw good ideas? So let's think of the opposites of these right now. So actually what we can do is we can do something like an endurance actually, I know what we can do. Wait, I already used the term. Do I use return restoration? No, I don't actually. So we could do a restoration, which is pretty much just going to be increase health by X, increase health by X. We can actually do speed up. Speed up, increase speed of character by X. We aren't going to do ranged only. Run up, actually, we can add in something for run up. We can actually do steps. Steps allow the character to move X spaces. Do calming the character. The character regains X stress. Pretty much you're in the zone right now. That's cool. We like it when you're in the zone. Unarmed a little bit weird, but I gotta remember what unarmed damage would literally just be your physical attack. So if we want to do that, it would be you pretty much if you are a pretty much a martial artist, if you just want to use your fists, you are very much investing a lot into these techniques, because that's what's going to allow you to do that. And you can just say you're unarmed for everything and get a free refund effectively. Technique Man is investing heavily in techniques, turns out. Maybe like counts as. Oh, I know. We'll do martial arts. Actually, no. Okay. We've got a few of these. So now we get to go up here and start reviewing what we have. Health, that... Oh, I know what we can do. We can say magic, the character. So, the character's ability instead targets magic. And actually elemental, the character's ability is elemental. Actually, I should say is their element. Physical attack, physical defense, and we'll do defensive. The character gains plus X physical. We'll just say defense. No, that's not how I want to do things. Now, you're only going to be doing that. We don't need that. That's not something special. We need something special that's going to affect something. Do I already put an accuracy in here for power-ups? Yes, I do for power. So that's what you're going to be investing for these two. So we don't need to worry about that. Trying to think of... Yeah. Oh wait, I know we have to use. We can do enraging the character. Actually, so we can do. No, we'll call it enraged. The character's ability gains X damage from rage. So pretty much, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but you're going to get a flat bonus if you just have higher rage. Actually, we can do, what would be another good one for pretty much your burning rage, actually. Emotional vent. The character's ability gains X. Let's see, the character's ability gains X from... actually from venting their rage. So pretty much you expend all from spending rage. We'll do concentrated. So we'll do concentrate. Actually, no, we want to do focus strike. Focus. Character's ability builds concentration. And we want to, what would be, fuck a duck shit, fuck, god damn it. Pretty much if focus builds concentration, we need something to unleash concentration. Like, you build up to a certain amount, you're doing pretty good, you can, if you hit your max, you can trigger it and do something big. So that would be... maybe expend? No, that would be... actually, I know, follow through. Follow through. The character's ability can... the character's ability expends X concentration. Then we have to do... then actually we'll do mana to Lux. No, we're not going to use mana. Mana's going to be from magic. So I'm thinking, like, can we use mana maybe? No, I don't think that's correct. So we've got all these, Then it would just be magic, which is just pretty standard stuff. We don't really need to worry about that all that much. Anything for combat we can do. Actually, I know what we can do. We can do reset. The character resets their initiative. Actually, their speed. Resets their speed. Actually, no. Yeah, no, the character resets their speed. Speed and... actually, fuck. No. No. Welcome to game design. I've always told people this. Like, game design isn't exactly fun. It's a lot of staring at a screen saying, why aren't you working? Why are you doing this? Stop that. Stop it now. And it never does. It will never end. Life is pain. So you can already do this. You can already... okay. So we go here. We completely scuff that. So it would be restoration. So let's see, the technique increases the user's health. How do I actually word this? I gotta check that. Technique required. Okay, technique. The technique increases the character's health by X. Increases the character's health by X. So this is going to be kind of like your reset. You know, this is you're going to get 2 HP for, let's say, like 3 ability points. If I can actually spell correctly, ability points. So like that's pretty decent. Like, if you want to really spend it, you can get some, like, this is more of your second breath. Actually, do we want to do 2 for 2? Just do it in increments of 2, so you still have to pay for it, but you can't, like, just do 1 for 1. So people don't do like 7 or just fill out every ability with it. No, no. So we want to do speed up. The technique increases the character's speed by X. And it's going to be 1 speed for 2 ability points. Which, that doesn't seem like a lot. However, if you trigger things just right, you can get a huge burst of speed and potentially put yourself first in the next round. Actually, so steps, the technique allows the character to move before or after its full use. So that's going to be one space for, let's say, 3 ability points. That's pretty fair. Which we want to do calming. The technique calms the nerves. They restore X stress. So it's going to be 2 stress for 2 ability points. Actually, we want to do 1 stress for 2 ability. No, 2 stress, 2 ability points. Same thing up as above. Oh, 2 ability points. We'll call it Mystic. The technique targets the. Actually, the technique targets the characters. It would be M defense instead of P defense. And that's just going to be a flat 5. However, we're also going to put in, just because I forgot about it, we're going to call it, we'll call it Brawny. And the idea of technique targets the character's P defense instead of M defense. So you can change, effectively that would be for, I want to change my magic attack to target someone's physical defense. It is, I'm going to just rip and tear you in half, be like, ha ha ha, I'm doing a thing. Allow you to kind of fluff things as well. You're still using intelligence and things like that, but you're able to invoke that. If you're playing like a magic martial artist, you're probably going to be doing stuff like this, or slapping this on a few things. I always feel like 5's a little bit high, but... So, Elemental's pretty standard. The technique is considered to be the character's element. It's considered to be the character's element. I'm only going to make that 2, because obviously, because that's kind of your entire thing in this world. So we want to do enraged. The character's ability, the character's technique, actually the technique. Technique grows in strength with the character's rage. They gain +1. They gain +1 power. They gain +1 power for each rage. For each rage they gain +1 power for each rage. Each rage they have built. And this is going to be a chunky 7. We have to do emotional vent. The technique allows vent their rage. They gain +1 power for every rage spent when using the ability, using the technique. And we're going to call that 5. Control C, Control V. We have to do focus. The technique continues the character's actually builds the character's concentration. And we're only going to make that 2 because we want characters with concentration to be using focus abilities, which brings me to follow through. The technique can expend actually the technique triggers the can expend all concentration to gain plus X power. And we're only going to make that 4 instead of 5. So instead of 7, it's going to be... Because you're going to be building up rage a lot quicker. I think concentration. So if we do that... Okay. I believe this works. I feel like I am missing something drastically, however. And that's going to bother the shit out of me. Because if we set up everything here, we'll do cabin 10. Let's see, most humans are going to have a concentration of... Actually, let's check. Fighter. Okay, so warriors use rage. They have a base 10 range of rage. So that means with a Gyee, because Gyee get bonus abilities, they're going to get +2 rage. So max, if you have a plus 12 damage, plus 12 damage to an ability. Actually, no, it'd be plus 24 damage with max rage. But that's kind of your entire thing, so you want to build that up. But that's fighters, and that's the fighters' entire thing. Is that they want to do? Tanks also have it, but they're only going to get a max of 10 if you're a Gyee tank. But most of the time, they're only going to have about 8. But they're also going to be wanting to invest almost solely in defending themselves. That's going to be the tank's big thing. Do I give tanks options to switch between being rage tank versus fucking concentration tank? See, I have many options here. There are many doors, Ed boy. And none of those doors are right now because all of them are a bitch. Stretch my legs here a bit. See, the beautiful thing about this game so far is that it is emotionally destroying me because there's so many little things in it to consider. But I'm going to do it. I believe it should work. I'm not drinking water. I'm drinking coffee right now because I need to wake up because I was really tired before. Okay. So let's check real fast to make sure this system works. So we want to do an attack. We want to do a thing. We want to do... Let's say, for example, we want to pull off a... We'll just say a basic physical attack. It's going to be 2 AP to use that. let's say we only want to spend. Let's say fuck. What are we? A fighter? Let's say we're a fighter. That's our gimmick. Fighters get 5 technique points. 5 additional techniques. So let's say we're spending 20 technique, 20 on, fuck it, we'll say 15 on a technique. That is our goal. We want to spend 15 points on a technique. And we spent 2 already, so we're down to 12, but we're going to do a physical attack. Let's just say right off the bat, we want to spend, we'll say 6 techniques. We want to get a +4, +2, physical attack when using it, as well as +2. Actually, yeah, and a +4 and then a +1 accuracy. We want to be able to hit pretty well for this. So that's, let's see, it'd be 1, 2, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 of our 12 techniques already. Actually, wait a second. That would be, spent 2 on that. We want to spend 15. We're down to 13. We spend 1, 2. We spend 6. We're down to 7. Do we want to inflict a status ailment on someone? Yeah, I think we're going to inflict a status ailment on someone. What status ailment do we want to inflict? What are we thinking of? I think we want to inflict something real nasty. I think we want to inflict. We'll inflict expose. So we'll do inflicts expose. And that's we're gonna do that status effect for we'll say 2 rounds. 2 rounds. We've exposed you for 2 rounds. That means we have to reduce you by 4, so we have 3 points left. However, we ourselves are going to be inflicted. We're also going to be takes expose for 2 rounds. That's going to be our big thing. We want to hit you as hard as we can, but we're also going to be taking it right on the fucking face. We're going to be just targeting one person with it. We don't really need to worry about that. What's our range? I think we're going to keep our range right up to their face. We're doing just a basic physical attack. We're already targeting their physical defense. We don't need to worry about that. I think we're going to do an emotional vent. And that emotional vent is going to be just going to be physical attack. So physical attack for 5. For 5, and then let's see. I know. We'll do a health requirement. We'll put a health requirement on there. We're going to take 6 HP in damage. That means we're going to get 2 back, 2 techniques back. And then we can build up. Let's see. What else do we have? I know. And then we're also going to do elemental. There's going to be metal. All right. For 15 total attribute points. Actually, not attribute points. Ability points. We've made an ability that once we can attack. Okay, so we can make an attack. And our big thing is we're gonna get +1 accuracy on top. We're gonna be rolling an extra D10 on top of everything we do for it. If we do hit, we're gonna have +4 our physical attack. We're gonna do a pretty good amount of damage for this. We're then going to inflict expose on them. I'm going to hit them. Their physical defense is now reduced by half. So if they have 8, they now have 4. However, I too am exposed. If I have 8 physical defense, I'm going to have 4 physical defense. However, I can also spend all of my rage to increase that physical attack even higher. I can just jack up my physical attack with it. If I have like 6 rage, spend it. +6 physical attack. Boom, hit you. I'm also hitting you with the power of the element of metal, meaning that if I'm fighting, if I recall correctly, wood, yeah, it would be wood. If I'm fighting someone who is wood aligned, I'm ignoring all of their defense. I could be hitting for probably about 10 additional damage on top of everything else. The only problem is I'm going to take 6 health to do this. Now, the beautiful thing is I can do this every round if I feel like. There's nothing stopping me from doing that. I'm not going to put in like a, actually, that would be a good restriction. Let's see, we want to do health loss, initiative loss, ranged only, stressful, unarmed weapon category. We'll do cooldown. Cooldown. The technique requires time to set back up. And it's going to be 1 round for -2 ability points. So we can actually put in, just because I am a very nasty boy, we can do cooldown. We can do cooldown for like a 3-round. We'll do a 3-round cooldown. Actually, no. We'll do a 2-round cooldown. And that'll give us 4 technique points back. 4 ability points back. In which case, if I have 4 left, if I want to, I'm just going to actually, yeah, no, we want to dedicate everything to it. And that's the gimmick. Bump up accuracy a little bit. Actually, what's the movement? What's our movement? I want to take a step when I do this. Do we have anything for 1? No, I don't believe we do. No, so we're going to be doing this. So cooldowns round, that's going to be a -4 additional. 4 elements going to be 2. Emotional events going to be 5, I believe. I'm just trying to do my mental maths here. The emotional event would be, yes, 5. Exposed takes 2 exposed. That means we have to do that. If we do this, it's going to be status ailment 2, which is going to be -2. However, for 2, it's going to be 4. And here we're spending 1, 2, 3, 4. We're spending 10 points here. There we go. For 15 total ability points, this is everything we can do. This is a single ability, and this is like the big thing that I want to occur. Is I want people to start designing things the way they feel like. If you want to do something like more reliable, if you want to build like say for example, like this punching abilities, like more martial arts stuff, start investing in certain points, and then, because remember, every single thing you can do, you can immediately follow up with unarmed and get a small refund of 3 ability points. Which is, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it goes a long way, mostly when you can spend those 3 to give yourself an element. Or spend those 3 to, boost up your health a little bit. Like, you can do things with just a little amount of points, and that's kind of the entire idea. Because you people wanted options. I'm giving you options because, good fucking God, there's a lot. Also, is any of this balanced properly? Absolutely not. Just no balance whatsoever. You're gonna have, like, the GM is going to have to, like, double check everything in this regard. Because guess what? Apparently having the ability to do literally everything can sometimes not be the best option. One thing to note as well is I know weapons you can exploit a little bit. I do know about the switch gimmick, which I do like. I don't know if I should put it as a note, because if I put it as a note, a player's going to look at it being like, that's a good idea, I want to do that now. But roughly speaking, with weapons, with basic weapons, what you can do is, let me just actually set all this correctly. Actually, update normal text to match. Is that going to work right? No, of course not, but I can just fix it real fast. Is pretty much what you can do is, say you have a trick weapon, spend 5 of your weapon arts points doing that. Once you do that, you can just make the trick, the actual like customized aspect of the trick weapon, to refund you a bunch of points. And once you get refunded a bunch of points, you can technically have a weapon that you just don't use half of it for, that cost you nothing. Oh, magic can get really stupid. Don't bring up magic. Magic is its own beautiful disaster area. And that beautiful disaster area is one of my proudest accomplishments, not gonna lie. Like, I was very proud of the Waranahara ability to just build magic, and how you can just absolutely fuck anyone you don't like. That one actually had a little bit more going on with it, because everybody had to worry about your domain, and the domains in Waranahara were a lot more interesting than the ones in Gyee. Gyee doesn't really have that, but in Waranahara you had to deal with things like, yes, this is the Candy Witch. Like, yeah, what abilities does the Candy Witch have? Well, she has the ability to make candy. What does that entail? It entails that she could give you forceful, she can animate candy monsters to eat you, because she is a raging psychopath. And yes, the Candy Witch is technically canon, by the way, in Okagam, which is one of the reasons I adore that. Hello, Dragoon. We are working on techniques today, and I believe everything should be in place for techniques for this game. There were a lot, but you can technically build any move you feel like doing. It's all customized moves and stuff. And am I saying I'm dying a little bit on the inside? Hell yes I am, because there is a lot to work with. Okay, so we have weapon arts. We gotta move weapon arts all the way down here. Now, mind you, I still have to worry about the fact that I still need to put all the equipment in. I don't want to worry about the equipment right now. The equipment is, if I ignore the equipment can't hurt me. You wouldn't be 2, you would be 3. And then you would have to be normal text heading ... Put a space right there, highlight you, do that. You gonna work the way I want to? No, you're not. I have to do this all, man. The one benefit about having the heading system in Google Docs is that it allows you to play around with things a little bit more, being like, oh, cool, I can, make things pretty, I can highlight certain parts. However, if you ever try to do anything else with it, it will break, because it doesn't recognize what you are wanting to do with it. Actually, we'll do that. Well, good. Working in Word. You speak pain. Is it the fighting game? No, it's not Fist of Chaos. Fist of Chaos is originally, techniques may have been based off of it, but I decided to go with Watanahara instead. because that had a little bit of a simpler system and allowed me for a little bit more maneuverability. This one, there's a lot with this game, with a lot of this setting, because there are characters with like literal laser cannons fighting along man with spear. And it's like, yes, these two are completely on the same, caliber. Like, all right, man with spear, awesome. Let's go. Let's fucking go, boys. And God. Yeah, we're at 51 pages, mind you. How many words do we have? Oh, a little over 10,000 words. Huh. Of course. Getting paid roughly. Let's see. Yeah, no. Okay, now we get to worry about features. Features has to go to a completely different game. Is we need to go here. We need to go to the lexicon. Praise be to the lexicon. And we need to find not Natamon. Not Natamon. Oh god, no. Actually, would Natamon be correct? That's the question. Through the magic of game balance, they can fight. Yes. Yes, they can. Yep, there's Buttermer. Yep, he's back, everybody. Buttermer. Let's see. The primal goop size. I don't think this is correct. No, I don't think Nautamon is correct. Cool idea, wrong idea. Cool idea, but the wrong one. So maybe like racial and societal creation? Maybe slaves to chaos would be the right answer. One of the more odd games out there. Okay, so features. How do you want to start up with features? So, features. Characters are naturally born with certain aspects about them. Certain aspects about them, whether they are simply lucky, or whether they are simply born under the right stars, or their family line. Their family line contains ancient secrets. Let's see. Features can be purchased with ability points. Signify the character's growth. Actually, the character growing into their power. All feature actually what say is all features are final when they are selected. The character cannot improve, quote, improve, or buy off any of the features they choose later down the road. Outside of extraordinary circumstances. Cool. All right. So, what things do we have to worry about now? Ancient secrets. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. No. Yeah, no. Pretty much things are like features. The way I see features are things like I am small. It's just like an intrinsic aspect about yourself. There's nothing you can really do. But it's also going to be things like I am like naturally poison resistant, or like little things like that, or I have natural warding. Like spells don't naturally hit me because I am just born under the right stars or whatever. The big thing here is that I need to make this in a way so you can build your preferred animal, because that is also what they do. Because all the Therians are going to get free features points because they need to buy their own features to represent who they are. So it's like, hey, I'm a giant elephant man. What do? You have to buy elephant man things. Hey, I am a robot. I need to buy robot things. Which is already going to be nightmarish. Please, God, make it end. Alright. So let's see some basic features. So we'll do size. Okay, I think size, we can fit size in there. That sounds bad. That sounds wrong. No, Pat, please. Why do you say these things out loud? So, we'll do size features. Incredibly small, standing about 2 feet. Let's see, effect. We can probably cut things like tiny and... Yeah, no, actually, we'll cut tiny, just keep small. The race is considered a small race. That does mean they can actually move through enemies. That's the big idea there. Considered small, but lose -5 to their racial health. No effect. The race is considered large. Actually, we can cut huge then at that point. Race is considered large. They gain +5 to their racial health. We can do something like that. Therians get a little bit of bonuses when it comes to that, just because they can just choose it right off the bat if the GM is feeling it. Hey man, I cannot control what others believe, actually. Ugh. Ow, I sneezed. Ah, God. Oh, that was a nasty one, too. Oof. Blah. So, let's see. What are we looking at? I'm going to keep you open for now. So, let's see. Now, this is where things get very bad, because there are, if I recall correctly, about a little over 100 of these. And some of them are going to be adapted. Others are not. But I am going to bring them all over. Actually, do I already have these? If I go to Slaves of Chaos, I go to the STC sheet, am I going to be lucky? Is Notepad going to be a lucky, lucky boy? This isn't a good start. Ah, there we go. Ah. See, I'm not like those other VTubers who like tries to like play into like the gimmick. I don't get them. I don't get those aspects because I rarely see them ever do it. Like, am I the weird one? But my VSona is just a shit post. So let's see, albino. Actually, we need to replace the term race with character. Replace all values with that, yes. Okay, so the character is albino. Character negative 1D to all checks during a hot day locate. Actually, we want to do gets a negative. Actually, it would be a plus 3 TN to all checks on hot location or during the day. Actually, we'll do plus 2 TN. So with the average TN being 6, you would pretty much have to do 8 up on a D10, which is pretty fucking brutal if you're albino. So I'm not gonna say, we'll call it like that. Number of appendages that can double as singular arms, legs, or anything else, really. 2 for appendage, berserker, berserk rage. Berserker, you're getting cut. We don't need you. You're taking abilities if you want to do that. Bleeding immunity. Cannot bleed. Yes. Bleeding susceptibility. Perfect. That's what I like to see. The character's effectively hermaphiliac. Blind. Yeah, no, it's like this. And it's always funny because I go on Twitter pretty actively, and anytime I do this, I always tag hashtag every single time, without doubt. I will say hashtag ENVTuber because I play VTuber fishing, and VTuber fishing is my hobby. I like this idea that you can take bad abilities to get points for more good ability. If you take them all, does it balance out? No, it doesn't balance out in the slightest. If you take every single ability with that, I think you end up enslaves to chaos anyway. If you take everything, you end up with negative. And this one, you should also end up with negative. Like you will have you would have taken way too many. No, you would have taken way too many. You would be way over your limit. You also have to deal with the fact that I'm doing pretty much every character is. Let me no, I gotta do Gyee. So let's do humans for example. Humans get 22 ability points. They can spread among their weapon arts, magic, techniques, and features 22 points in total. By virtue of having a class, they get a few more. But usually these are broken down into very specific things. Like you can only dump 5 technique points into techniques, and you also get 5 weapon arts if you are a warrior. If you are a ranger, you get all these. If you are a tank, you get all these. Things like tanks allow them to take a few new features just to give them some more advantages. But like they're the only ones that get that. The only characters that get like actively quite a few features are constructs because they are robots and built for purpose. And Therians because they are so diverse it's kind of impossible to. Isn't tank more of a meta class? Yeah. The commissioner did request that I use the classes from the game, and tank is a formal class of the game. So I put them in there. They get, compared to everyone else, their big thing is that they get a lot more just raw bonus health by virtue of taking the class. They're the only class that gets features, though I may change that and give more features. They also get guaranteed block and be able to use rage, and they're also the only ones who can use shields and heavy armor. So it's pretty much their role is to just eat damage. It's kind of a meta thing, but yeah. I also changed this about warriors. I don't know if I mentioned this previously, but when you choose to be a warrior, you have to choose whether you want to have block or you want to have accuracy. This doesn't seem very big, but it kind of balances it out when we get to like rangers. because rangers are able to use things a lot more actively. What I should actually do is bump you up to 5. Yeah, Morph is the problem child class so far, Dragoon. Because the Morph gimmick is that they, in the game, if on your magical phone, I want you to picture, what you have to do is you click an ability, then you transform into another class, or you transform into another aspect with different abilities. Good idea on Magic Computer Phone, bad idea in application. Every single one of those characters have actually been shifted to a different class at this point, but it has been requested that they get put in, so I get to worry about that. Do I know how to do that? Absolutely not. So, blind cannot... we'll see without assistance or vibrations. Carnivore. Actually, we'll say instantly failing all site-based checks, but gains a -1 TN to hearing healing vibrations and to -1 to other senses. So carnivore consumes meat-based product. We don't really need that. Cold-blooded. Oh, so the character. Maybe we need to do. We'll just do. Character has a -+2 TN and checks in a cold location during the winter. Dark vision, fire immunity, fire resistance, fire susceptibility, fire weakness. Fragile. So the character reduces both class and racial health bonuses by half. So you can pretty much reduce like an insane amount of health down to like nothing. Herbivore. We don't really need herbivores. Hideous. The character has a +2 to all social checks to characters who do not know them. Pretty much first impressions, you are a hideous beast of God. Please make it go away and kill it, because you are horrifying to behold. -2. Kindershima is actually like... This is actually like a very odd situation, and I always find it very fascinating. Yeah, it's a set of infantile physical features: large head, round face, big eyes, that is perceived as cute and motivates caretaking behavior in other individuals. This is the weirdest term I've ever come across. And of course it's German, so I had to put it in. I could probably rename it something. Yeah, it's the Kawaii Ugu phenomenon. Long wings, average or below. If the character is average or below, the character gains rudimentary ability to fly. Low light vision. Mineral Vor, we don't need that. Natural armor. So the character increases their P defense by X. Pretty much whatever it is. Natural weapons is inbuilt weapon. The character has a weapon that has been integrated into their body, or is a natural part of them. Part of them. Choose a weapon. Choose a weapon. Choose a weapon and give it the natural tag. So this will be, it's going to be, we'll call it, we'll say 4 per, actually we'll do 3 per damage class. So basic would be 3, light would be 6, 9 for medium. So yeah. Now, mind you, too, here's the big thing with natural weapons. I want you all to remember: you can technically build, you can technically build a character whose all their weapon arts, pretty much, you can augment a weapon, and then take this to have it attached to you. My tail is a giant, acts as a two-handed Zweihander sword that I use to beat people with. Everyone's like, yeah, okay, that's completely fine. If you want to say my tail is a Zweihander sword, cool, just take 2 appendages to carry it, and that's how we're going to justify it, and just use that thing to whip around and chop people's heads off. Go for it, who cares? We live in Clown Town. Omnivore, we don't need omnivores. Poisons, regenerative. Let's see, the character restores. Oh, I forgot to add in the medical thing. So actually, the character doubles the rate at which they heal during camping. Actually, no, what we can do. Anytime the character is healed, they gain plus 1d6 health. Actually, 1d5 health. Just roll a d10. You know how to do that. We don't need servile. Haha, no, no, no. Set of arms, set of legs, short wings, solitary, subterranean. Technically, if you want to build a horrifying spider demon, you do that. Yeah, with a bow, be like, yeah, it's pretty much that. Short wing, solitary. No, we don't need this. Subterranean, we don't need this because we don't need to worry about population centers. Let's see. The character has a tail that grants them. That will just do. Let's see. The character's tail can hold light items, as well as give them a -1. Actually, we'll do -2 to all dexterity checks to make -2 TN to dexterity checks to maintain balance. Tinkers. Yeah, actually, the character has a particular hobby. Particular hobby or area of interest. Has a particular hobby they enjoy. Actually, has a field of study. Field of study in which they enjoy to tinker and build things. They choose a field, and they have a -2 TN to all checks involving it. I want to be a blacksmith. Take tinker. I want to be a woodcrafter. Take tinker. Just take tinker already. Tough. Let's see. The character increases their. We already kind of have tough for physical defense. Do we want to put something for natural block? I don't think natural block is appropriate, so no. Wing arms. Don't really need to think about that. Woolly. Yeah, okay. Alright, alright. Yeah, welcome to Yeah, no, Slaves of Chaos, that racial creation system was nuts. Endless. I do know the endless adventures. That's what I called it. Endless Adventures actually has like a full on like just advanced version of this, as that game was pretty much built for. Slaves of Chaos was built entirely just to make sure that system worked for no other reason. Like, does it by technicality, by sheer technicality? Tinker, yeah, actually, what I should actually put down is like Tinker is like I explicitly wanted to be like a trade. Tools in their free time, field of study, which they enjoy tinker and build things. That's like specifically like I am a lumberjack. This is what I do. I'm a blacksmith. This is what I do. Not necessarily I am an academic, which actually reminds me I should actually do something like academic. The character is a noted academic. They enjoy learning from the best scholar. Learn from the best scholars. They can't. The character has a field of study. Has a field of study. Has a field of study in which they study, in which they are skilled in. Choose a field. Choose a field. Field and choose a field and if I can actually fucking type, and they have a -2 TN to all checks involving it. I am a biologist. That's what it is. I am a blacksmith. If you, would it actually, it would be archaeologist, I think would be the correct term for someone who studies magic. I'm an archaeologist. That's a weird word. Okay, so I need to double check something. Do I actually have a list for constructs? I do have a list for constructs, but they're not as hmm. Okay, so it would be for maybe an Endless Adventures. We do Endless Adventures, we go there. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much what I want you to be able to do is be able to take both pretty actively. Nothing is saying you can't take like two trades, but it's just like it has a different way of approaching it. And in your story, in a story, I would not call Vundo, for example, or Vundo, or whatever the fuck his name is. I wouldn't call him a tinker. I wouldn't call him profession. That like doesn't sound right. He's an academic. A little bit more precise. Let me see. We want to look at training and advancement, technologies, rise above the rest, the classes. Where are you? Playing the game. Species. Species creation. That's what. Base species. Okay. We found a few more. So let's see what needs to be. These actually. Thing is, these need to be put in. What I should have done is I should have done this earlier. I always forget. STC is a little bit behind in that regard. So how autistic do I want to be? Okay. One, albino, you're gone. Appendages, you're gone. Amorphous, we don't want you. Anathema, we don't really need you. That's going to be a lore thing. Adrenaline Surge, don't really need you. Acidic Blood, we can put Acidic Blood in. What's Acidic Blood's gimmick? Acidic Blood is the species as... Actually, so, the character, when they take health damage, we'll roll a we'll do 1d5, we'll roll a 1d5, actually, roll a 1d10 with roll a 1d10 on an even, they will splatter their blood on a target. Splattered blood on target, dealing 1d5 damage. So, aquatic. Don't need that. Attribute potential. Don't need that. Automated defense system. We're actually going to put you over here. We're going to put you over here. We're going to specifically call you construct traits. Construct traits. Just for things that battlefield rations. We don't need that. Berserker, we don't need that. We don't need any of you. We don't need you. Braxian adapted limbs. Because monkeys are cool. This is specifically for Therians at this point. The character has evolved. I'm going to have to split. I'm going to have to split all of these between the various All right, cool. Let's do it. Let's fucking go. Let's do it, boys. Let's see. Actually, I just want to double check. So, the character's arms are developed in a way to allow to grant a negative 2 TN to all checks involving climbing. They are able to climb up surfaces and swing without issue. So. Just to give you the sheer amount of these, there's a few. None of these matter. That really doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Carnivore doesn't matter. Cellular division failure. No, we don't need that. Cold-blooded, we already have that. Danger sense. So, danger sense. You want to be fucking... Yeah, if you want to be Spider-Man, you can do that. Yeah. Put in depth, doubtful intent. We don't really need that. Dust attuned. Obviously, we don't really need that because guess what? This isn't that. We don't need this. We don't need this. This. Any of this. Do we need fortress built? I don't think we need fortress built. We don't need this. Actually, you are just a literal walking shield for your allies. Hazard conditionist specialists. Constructs. Fragile, herbivore, hideous, hyper-specific food. We don't need that. Leaping ability. Everyone likes leaping. You leap. Leap away from more problems. Leap away from my problems. I wish I could. Let's see. Character never needed to or is completely unable to hear. Character's unable to hear anything. Yeah, get your head out of the gutter. Get your head out of the gutter. The species, so the character's leg muscles develop long leaps through the air. Average member of the species can about 20 feet in standing position, 50 feet with a long jump. Lethargic, no. Limited regeneration, no. Long wings, no. Low light vision, no. Masters, no. Mental parasites, no. Mercantile desires, no. Construct trait. Mineral born, no. Multiple eyes. Technically, we can put you up there. Do we already have multiple eyes? Don't think so. No, we don't. Well, we guess we do now. Yeah, multiple eyes. The character has multiple eyes. The species game. The character. We'll do the character has a -2. A -2. Actually, we'll do a -1 to all sight-based perception. Actually, a -2 to all sight-based perception checks. Mutants, no. Naive development, no. Natural armor, no. Natural melee weapon, already have it. Natural poison protection, no. Naturally adept, no. Naturally inept, no. Nimble, no. 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 There aren't any other languages in the setting, so we don't really need polyglot. We don't need proles. We don't need quick reaction, probability simulation. Redundant organs. Don't need it. You can be a construct trait. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need any of that. Don't really need that. That's the entire point of the game. No, no, no. No, we need you for spider. We need you for spiders. We need you for mole people. Mole people. Mole people. Synthetic adaptability. Unfolding. Technically, that would be a good construct trait. Unlock joints. Do that. Unlove splinter species. Unseen. Stealth check to remain hidden. put that in. So, you are going to go up here. Yeah, I'm going to reframe scavengers a little bit. That's the idea. I'm going to reframe these. Like, if you want to play a scavenger, like, you know, canine, like canine or canine, I don't fucking know what they're called. If you want to play scavenger, one of those, you're building a character to do that. You're going to be taking things like Tinker and stuff. Constructs are going to get kind of a special version of it, so I'm just kind of putting them off to the side. Let me just do a quick double check. Deaf, unable to hear anything. Multiple eyes. Okay. The character has adopted a residue. Unlock joints. Characters. Bone structure. Easily unlocked and twisted, allowing them to fit into tight spaces. This is meaning you can play a cat if you want to. Like, if you just want to play a weird cat person, do it. Like, character gains at +2. Now, yeah, actually have a -2. Yeah, mind you, I still have to price all these out, right? Yeah, that's going to be fun. Let's see. The character functions well in a ground situation, can live comfortably. This. The character has a -2 TN to all stealth checks to remain hidden. Okay, now this is where things get a little bit wiggity whack. Because I need to split these into two main things. I need to split these into... Well, here. I need general traits. Therian traits. And construct traits. General traits can apply to everyone. Construct traits can only be taken by constructs. And Therian traits can only be taken by Therians, etc., etc. Gyee are going to get a note in there and being like, technically they can take Therian traits. However, it only applies to when they are in their Therian form. If they're not in their Therian form, they don't get the benefits. So, acidic blood, danger sense. Okay, we just need to go through here. Albino, that's pretty general. Appendages. You can go in here. We can also put you in here, but you can't be a general trait. A human being cannot just take a second set of arms if they feel like. That's not a thing. Anyone else can, except you. Bleeding immunity can go here. Technically, and they already have a note. Yeah, they already have a note that technically they can't bleed, because guess what? They're a fucking robot. Blind, that reminds me we need to put in... I need to put in deaf right here. You need to be put in right at the bottom here. The danger zone. You're going to be put right here. unlocked joints, subterranean, so bleeding resistance, deaf, blind, cold-blooded. Cold-blooded is only going to apply to you. Dark vision. Technically, I could say that applies to you or you. Or you. Fire immunity cannot normally be set on fire. Yes, fire weakness. There. Because remember, probably the most valuable tool you have in your possession is the ability to light something you don't like on fire. Yeah, it's pretty general. Hideous, yeah, that works. Kindashima, that works. Long wings, that works. Low light vision, good. Natural armor, that works. Natural weapons. Natural weapons are going to go to you and you. Poison immunity to you. Regenerative going to you. Set of arms, set of legs. Short wings and tail. Technically, we can put you right there. Though, yeah. Put you as well right there. That means we need to put you here as well. We'll put the short wings right there. Would robots ever have a need to develop tails? No, why would they? It's a fucking tail. But we're gonna put it in here anyway, because why not? We live in Clown Town. Woolly. Woolly. Well, humans wouldn't need woolly. Humans can't naturally be woolly. They can be unseen. They be sneaky bastards. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, no. Wait, two. There we go. Snap my back in place again. Alright. So that should break everything down pretty easily. So let's just do a quick double check here. Wait a second, because they are that, would a what else is here? What else is here? What else is here? What else is here? I open this up and there's more pages. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. I don't like that. I don't like that there's an update. Okay, it's still only 33 pages. Okay, then I'll worry about it. Nope, nope, not worrying about it. Go away, notes. Please, my mind doesn't. No, I'm okay with you not updating. It's already 33 pages, my friend. 33 pages is quite enough. Let's see, so. Alright, I think that should set things well there. So what I get to do now is I'm going to go up here. My character's number of appendages, automated defense system, so. Let's see. The character gains +3 speed. It gains +3 speed when combat begins. Dark vision. The character can see the dark. He gets any penalties. Fortress built. The character is so massive and built, and the character is built in a way that all adjacent allies are considered to be in cover, gaining +3 block to not be hit by ranged weapons. Let's see. The character is designed to travel into hostile locations for research or combat. The character ignores. It would be what's the regular or hazardous terrain. Mercantile desires. The character is built to be a merchant, able to quickly identify goods and items, upkeep books, keep books in line, and manage the storefront. The character gains has a -2 TN to all tasks involving numbers, item identification, or value adjustments. Now, mind you, I need to still put these all in the book. So if we're doing the costs here, 2 sounds pretty good. Automated defense system's a little bit heavy. I think I'll reduce that down to 7. Dark vision, I'm going to keep down. I'll keep dark vision at 4. Fortress built, we're going to bump you up to 6 a little bit because that's pretty valuable. Hazardous condition specialist, you're going to be 3. Leaping ability, we're going to keep you at 3. Multiple eyes, we're going to do... Yeah, we'll keep you at... We'll bump you down to 3, actually. Natural weapon. 3 per damage class. Yeah, rapid probability simulation. Has has been built with a simulation of all possible events in the immediate future. In the immediate future. While not perfect, it can assist when needed. The character has the character once a session gain plus 2d10 to their check. You're pretty much just making your life easier by virtue of having that once a session. Just plus 2d10 to any check you feel like. Scavengers. Find precious minerals. Objects of value in the field. The character has a natural sense of detecting natural formations. Actually has an inbuilt sensor that can be tuned to various metals, goods, or dragon shards. When in doubt, start hunting dragon shards. Hippity hoppity, I'm going to get those. Rudimentary ability to fly. 7. Tail. Dexterity checks to maintain balance. Yeah, that's fine. Unfolding. The character is designed to unfold itself and twist itself into shape properly. Increases height by double, but no longer affect. The species can increase its height by double. And we'll call that. That's a nice narrative little trait. That's a nice 3. Short wings. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 3, 3. Cool. Upsy daisy. Let's get going. So, academic. We'll keep that at 3. Actually, I'm feeling 3. If you want to. It's one of those. See, unfolding trait was originally meant for an organic creature. You have to remember that. The entire idea of the unfolding trait would be quite literally your limbs are into a place where they can snap and twist back into place where you need them to be. Yeah, they're pretty fucking horrifying. But unfolding was designed to be horrifying. Let's see, albino. We'll do -3 only. Bleeding resistant, 3, 3, 5. We'll do 3, -1. This way you don't get paid as much. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to take that away. No, you just can't see. Sorry. We don't deal with people who can't see here. Danger sense. Let's see. Cannot be actually, the character cannot be ambushed. Cannot be ambushed. We'll call that a 6. Not even magically, because guess what? He'll be able to detect it. Unable to hear. No technology can rectify this. We'll do -7. Fire resistance, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Fragile. We'll just call this at a -4. Hideous, -5. -3, 5, 15. We will instead make you. We'll take you 9. Low light vision being 3 is pretty decent. I will do 2 per. I will do 2 per P defense. Poison resistance 3, 3, 3, 5, -5. Actually, we'll do negative. No, we did -1, -3. Tinker's 5 works. Actually, we want to make that 3 because we want people to take that unseen. We want this to be about. We'll make this about 6. Let's see, acidic blood, we'll make that 4. Bleeding immunity, that works. Adapted limbs, we'll make that 5. Cold-blooded, we'll make that -7, so it's a little bit less punishing. But actually, it's more punishing because fuck you. That fire immunity 5. Leaping ability multiple eyes, that's fine. Natural weapons, damage class, regenerative. Time is healed. I'm only going to make that 10 instead of 15. Set of arms, 5, 5, 10. Then we want to make that 7, 4, 5, 4, -5. Yeah, I'll do -5, then Woolly for 5. We'll do Woolly for 3. Alright. Cool, we did features. Features are done now. Fuck. So, we get to go down here. Now we get to select, soon be heading 3 if I remember correctly. We need to signify extraordinary. Extraordinary circumstances. There are 3 categories. There are 3 categories of features. General, Therian. Actually, it'd be construct. No, it'll be general, construct, Therian. General can be taken by any character. Can be taken by any character, but constructs and Therians are limited to. The constructs also have their particular lists, which they can derive from Gyee, Gyee can take Therian traits, can take Therian features, but they will only apply when they are in their Therian form. Actually, it would be their half or full. Then we select all of our general traits. Ready to see this list spike? Yeah, welcome to... Yeah, I need to also go through here and double check everything to make sure that I've spelled everything right, which I probably haven't because I am incredibly in pain right now. I'm just like, I'm just kind of tired. Not gonna lie. This is very tiring. Like, it may not seem like it being like, what do you mean you're just writing a game? However, it's a lot of thinking, and I don't want to think right now. Then we have to do construct traits. Paste unlinked. Select all the construct traits. 10 cabin. Do 75. We'll fix you later. We need to go down one more, which brings me to our final one, which is going to be Therian traits. Select everything. Paste unlinked. And with that, we are officially done with character creation. 59 fucking pages, and we've finished character creation. So what needs to be done now? Well, simply put, the only thing that really needs to be done at this point is the relationship system. I know how I want to do the relationship system. That's the beautiful thing. I know how to do it. I know how I want to do it. It's just going to be some time. I don't think it's going to be a very long time, but I think it's just going to be it's just going to be me having to go through it and double checking it. But the relationship system is also going to tie into the way you advance, because it's going to be based off your intimacy with different characters. The higher your intimacy, the more amount of effectively experience points you're going to be getting, which allows you to spend it on yourself. So, with this, I am hopefully going to encourage players to want to engage with other characters, engage with players, and engage with other characters, for the desire to build their relationships up. You have the incentive, you have the desire. I am Pavlov, and I have there's the tree in hand. I am trying to get you to ring the little fucking bell at this point, and that ringing bell is engaging with the bond system. Hopefully, because all of the attributes are effectively charisma traits in their own right, that should get people a little bit more invested. It's a pretty combat heavy game right now, but that's just something I kind of got to deal with. I will draft up a sample character. Like, that's just going to be my thing. I kind of have the idea of like who I want my basic sample character to be, just because I want to make sure that it's working the way I want him to. Yeah, no, everything's working out pretty good there. The only thing that I'm kind of at a weird point is currently the morph. Because, well, putting it simply, there isn't really any good option for the morph. Because the morph's job is done better by every other class. By default. Like, it just is a better time for the morph to do something else than be the morph. However, if I want to be a bit more precise, if I want to give the morph something to do, and this is a big if, what I can do is just give them a fuck ton more points to play with, a lot more ability points, a lot more options, and that's kind of their gimmick. Is they have these a lot more points, but they have to, I don't know, go between the two forms to do them, or they just are allowed to do with what they want them to do with them. I'm playing this character, and because I'm playing this character with this class, I am getting all of these different options, but I'm not the fighter who has access to all these cool abilities. It's kind of like I am a person with just like very simple ability. I don't know. Like, that's kind of the issue. Like, I don't want to give them. They don't really have a good. They don't have a good personality right now. Like, they don't have like a good like. This is what I want you to be. So it's kind of me going back and forth on it to see what they actually to do with it. Half of me wants just to scrap the morph idea entirely and just do something else, but the commissioner wants wants morphs, so we're doing morphs. So I'm gonna call it there for today. Thank you all for watching. My name is Notepad Anon, and tomorrow we're gonna be working on Project Tactics, I'm going to do some stuff with that tonight. After Project Tactics is done, which I don't think we're going to get done with Project Tactics tonight, tomorrow, probably on Thursday for that, just another three episode. We will start working, if things go according to plan, this Friday we can start working on Oji-san. If everything goes according to plan, which, again, it rarely will. So, thank you all, and I will see you all tomorrow. Yeah, let's